Welcome to Cigar Time, where the only thing more lit than our cigars are us women.
Woo!
How are you, ladies?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Another fun episode with a women panel again. Again, you guys know Nia,
Hey.
Robin, Nancy, and me. We're here to talk today about the Rocky Patel Prohibition.
Ooh.
This is a Connecticut broadleaf. You want to tell them what the binder and filler is?
The binder and filler are Nicaraguan, and the wrapper is a Connecticut broadleaf Maduro wrapper.
Interesting.
Yeah. Is this going to pack a punch? I've never smoked it.
I've started smoking it.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if this is going to be good or not.
We're going to find out.
It's got a good amount of airflow, but I wouldn't say it exactly packs a punch.
Okay.
Well, I'm about to find out. So
You
last,
haven't lit yours.
no, I haven't even lit mine yet. I'm going to wait for a little bit. So last week, we left off where we were talking about, women as far as being a customer coming into the store and how you're being, how you get treated and the different reactions to, how men perceive us. So since we talked about the customer experience, let's talk about the retail side experience of that. So like I said, I've never been a customer before. I'm only a customer at my own shop. So I've never been a customer before. But when I first started, it was hard. I wanted to quit. I wanted to cry. I get frustrated. I was like, now in the beginning I understood because I didn't really understand. But once I got my knowledge and I knew what I was doing and I understood it, I was like, okay, now I'm ready for my respect. And you don't get it like that. You just not. The one peeve I have, you know what really grinds my gears?
What
say it
grinds
like that. You know what grinds my gears? When I'm standing there and John or whoever could be standing next to me and the guy will walk in and he'll go straight for the older guy. Always. And most people are like, well, why? Why wouldn't a guy want to, pretty good to wait on him? It's not really about that. When people come into the shop, I think some guys are like, okay, yeah, I want the beautiful woman to wait on me, but most men are like, they want what they want, or they have something in the back of their mind that they want to pick up, and that old school frame of thought where the old guy is in, old
the
guy.
Good old boy.
the older gentleman is in the store, and I think it's like a comfort thing to them almost to go to them.
They don't even have to be older.
That's true. It could be younger.
I've gone from retail to
True.
repping down back to retail, and I remember right before I left another company in retail, it was Christmas time, which we're right before now as well, and this guy comes in. I say, can I help you? And he goes, no, I'm good. And he walks right to the next guy, who's a younger guy, younger than me, asks him, can I help you? Yeah, I need help. Asking him all these questions, brings him right back over to me. I said, you should have let me answer your question in the first place, because I know more than every guy here. But they make the assumption.
It's just men, period.
Or
And
they come in and
I've never worked with a
they
younger
ask
guy.
you-
Unfortunately, can I get some younger guys in here?
Do you ever get this? Do you ever get this?
I can't do much.
I know I'm not the only one who gets this. They come in and they go, do you smoke cigars? No, I'm holding the counter in place.
Exactly.
What am I doing
And then
here?
they go, really? You smoke cigars?
I mean,
I'm
I
like,
think
"Yeah,
they just
yeah."
assume. I think they assume that we're just cashiers, like you said in last week's episode. I think that's something that they just assume because you're a woman. And not only are we women, but we're younger women. And so when you see males in the cigar industry, typically they're middle-aged men and maybe a little bit older. There are some men that I've seen repping and they're probably late 30s, but for the most part, I saw predominantly males in their mid-40s and up.
Well, let's clarify this real quick, though, because when you see somebody working a cashier in a cigar lounge environment, they're not cashiers, they're sales associates. We need to know
Or
what we're talking
executives.
about. Or executives. Tia. Don't blow your head up too much.
Hey, I am. I'm a tobacconist. Let's put it that
That's
way.
it.
I'm a tobacconist.
I'm a certified retail tobacconist.
There you
I've
go.
passed my
Yes, you are.
exam. I have the certification. Not just
you do.
standing here looking pretty
Pretty.
or whatever.
Right.
Well, I do that and smoke.
Exactly.
A little from column
Except
A, a
for
little from
smoking.
column B.
Except for on Mondays. That's
I look nice on
Monday
Monday.
on Monday.
Ooh.
What?
Wow.
we both
No.
came in here like
She has
that.
Hobo Mondays. I have no Hobo Mondays. I came in a Kristoff t-shirt
No,
one
that
time.
one day with no makeup, and you was like, "Oh my God, Tia! Oh my God!"
Wow,
And I
wow,
came
wow.
in mixed
With your
match.
hobo hat.
I was all mixed match, purple socks with gray tights on. I like the hot mess. Don't come and see me on Mondays.
She's a cashier on Mondays.
Oh my gosh, what are you saying? Cashiers don't look good? I look
No.
good as a what? I was the most
Have you been to the
beautiful
dollar store?
cashier at Target when I worked there, and Macy's that you'd ever want to get.
I can see it.
I mean, that's just me.
She dressed
though.
that red shirt up and them black pants.
I sure did, girl.
But yeah, I mean, it's it's hard. But again, like Nancy said about being a customer and her experience, after a while you have to just let it roll off your back. You can't take it personal. I find it funny though when I ask them, "Do you need any help?" and they say no, and then I'm still in there, and 2 minutes later, "Oh, can I have your help?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I tell people I welcome questions. I mean, that's what I'm here for. I welcome showing you new things. I welcome talking about the product. Even pairing with stuff. So
I think that's good. Tia is very knowledgeable. I remember when she and I began working together, and people would look at me and automatically think like, oh, she doesn't know anything. And they were probably right to a certain degree or an extent. But it was good, because there were people who, even if they did think that, she would be right there and I could say, oh, well, T, do you know such and such? And she just spewed it out like a book. So you can never really come into the shops and judge a book by its cover, because some of us are very knowledgeable. I have learned a lot too since then.
Well, you've only been in the industry going on, I think, not almost a year.
Two.
2 years. It's been 2 years.
Almost 2. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, she's 20. I'm 13, and you're
18.
no.
Going on.
Well, smoking 18 years. I mean, working
Working here is
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Thank you.
But she's been smoking.
I
for
tried
a
to put my
very
time
long-
in it,
but
and
you've
you
been
didn't give
smoking
it to
for a
me.
very long time. Very long time.
Yeah, Nancy seems to be
Oh,
pretty
she knows.
knowledgeable.
Nancy
I was like,
knows.
wow,
Well,
yeah.
I was proud of myself and kind of flattered. I was a customer of Cigar Cigars for 5 years. To have a manager of one of the shops say to me, "Why aren't you working for the company?" And to me, at the time, I felt like, "Are you kidding?" But I was very flattered, and I thought about it for 2 days, and I thought about, I love this, and it's
Yeah.
what I've been doing for 5 years. Why aren't I?
Oh, wow.
And actually, when customers come in now, and I hear myself talking, I think I actually do know more than I thought.
Nancy
I've
can
been
talk
paying
shop.
attention, and it feels good, which is why it's hard when we have customers who think you're just a cashier, and you kind of have to prove yourself.
But you know what I did enjoy, though? Being as though it was a learning experience for me, talking to the customers, because even without all of the information on every cigar, customers who knew their stuff would be overjoyed to share with me what they knew, even if I
Yes.
offered my assistance and I'm like, oh wow, no, I don't know much about this. They break down the blends, and so like that was like really good. Like, and I noticed that because even if there are some who think, oh well, maybe you're not as informed, everybody is not cutthroat to like, oh, get away from it. They'll help you, and I enjoyed that. Like that was another method in which I learned about some of the stuff that we carry.
It's a great thing. After 5 years, I don't know everything about cigars, so it does feel good to be able to talk to another cigar smoker who realizes that you take it just as seriously as they do, and to share that information and you both learn something, because I don't think you can know everything about cigars.
Yeah, I mean, Robin, with
It's
all
just
the
so
years
much
you've
stuff.
been in, like, what have some of your experiences been?
In regards to just
Person-to-person interactions, like in the retail side of it.
when I was younger in my 20s in retail, I got a lot more of the unsure feeling of do I know what I'm talking about from myself and from the customers. When I went on the road as a rep for the last 7 years, people knew why you were there. You were there for a purpose, and you were there to run an event or to sell them something. And there's a certain amount of retailers who you still have to prove yourself to in terms of knowing what you're talking about and in regards to selling them something that would work in their business. But now, luckily, I'm running into people that I've met, and they say, "Oh my gosh, Robin, you know it. She knows what she's talking about," or it's easier to kind of like put them in their place because you got the answers right off the bat.
Yeah.
But even so, lounge etiquette is still the same no matter where you are, because I've found that it doesn't matter on a consumer level. They either know you and they trust you, or it takes some time to get their trust, because they're so used to, like we were talking about last week, the good old boys club.
Yeah.
You know, and it almost becomes like guys always say, like, hey, where's the women at? Where's the well?
They don't.
If you acted right, maybe there would be more women around. You know, you have to be inviting and welcoming. You know, I can hang with the best of the guys, but to some other women who are maybe not in tune to what really goes on in man world, that might turn people off. You know what I mean? So if you want women around, act like you want women around, because we like to smoke
Good
too.
point. Touche. Very good point.
Oh.
I remember when I worked at this other place, my first day, they hazed me. And they didn't think I knew what I was talking about, and I had to prove myself from day one. And then I think after like a week, all of them stopped hazing me, and they were like, all right, you know, leave this girl alone. She knows what she's doing, you know, let's respect her. And then after another week, I had them cleaning up after themselves. I was like, oh, no. I'll dump your ashtrays, and I'll wait on you, you know, but your Coca-Cola and that food bin needs to go in the trash. Okay?
I think a lot of times guys think they're being funny when they're really turning women off and being inappropriate with some of the commentary.
Yeah.
You know, and that can be a turn off for anybody, even a professional in the field. You know, you don't see the girl walking behind you and rolling her eyes, thinking like, who the hell is this guy? His jokes aren't even funny. You know.
Oh my word.
So think what comes out of your mouth first, and then have a conversation, like a real conversation with a woman who's smoking a cigar. You know what I mean?
Yep, I definitely understand.
I have to say though, I find most men very accepting, and you know, very good about it. Yes, I've had the men.
You have to, once you
Who
gain
look
their
at-
respect.
Well, I've walked into lounges where I've got the feeling like, and the looks, like, are you going back there to make me a sandwich, or why are you sitting here smoking a cigar? But the majority of men, I really feel comfortable around.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's good.
On a separate note, if more cigar shops had kitchens, I wouldn't mind making some sandwiches.
Well, we gotta
Well,
eat.
we are women.
We gotta eat. I don't make any sandwiches. I got somebody at home that does that for me.
Well, look, if they welcome Robin into the lounges, then
Robin
you'll have
just likes to
sandwiches.
cook. Robin likes to cook.
Well,
okay?
so do I. I like to feed people, so
There
I'd be
you
back
go.
there with you making the sandwiches and smoking my cigar.
And I like to make the drink.
The drink.
Give me a bar any day. I gotcha. So, Rob had asked us an interesting question that he thought we should bring up, is how we got started in the industry, or smoking cigars, or however you want to put it.
I started smoking cigars with just friends, like on occasion, hanging out. It was more so something that was just like, oh, you should try this. And then I worked in the retail side of banking as well as in wealth management. And so you interact with a lot of people who have access to different things, and they like to bond and talk business deals over cigars. So that was another segue into it. I was in no way an expert, and I'm still not, but I did have them on occasion, and I enjoy it. Like, I was like, oh, this is really good. What about you guys?
Well, for me, 5 years ago, a cousin of mine is an avid cigar smoker, has been for a very long time. He started a cigar group online, and every time he would talk about it, I would tease him and talk about his He-Man Woman Haters Club. And he said to me, women do smoke, and I have women who have joined the group. I'm willing to try anything. I said to him, send me some cigars to try. He initially sent me flavored cigars, which is fine. A lot of people like them. Another friend sent me a cigar, not a flavored cigar. And I loved it. I loved it. And it went just from there. Plus the fact, but being a woman, he also threw me into a cigar group right away.
Really?
Yes, he did. That was part of the challenge, was you're going to try the cigars, and I want you to tell the people in this group your experience. I did a lot of studying.
Wow.
I didn't want to sound like a stupid woman, so I did a lot of studying. But I was accepted. I was accepted, and I could ask questions, and they loved it. They loved hearing someone who truly was into it, and I got a lot of help, and that's how I learned. I learned a lot from being in that cigar group.
Yeah.
And so that's how I started, though.
I think working in an actual cigar shop, though, definitely changed how I appreciate a cigar. Because before it was just like, oh, you smoke it, it's social. That's it. I didn't put as much thought into what goes into actually making the cigar, the way that it impacts you when you're smoking it, or how it sets the tone for whatever it is that you're doing, and understanding that to most cigar smokers, it's not just smoking, it's a way of life.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
I find it to be a hobby with a lot of people because it is love. It's trying everything different, down to the accessories.
Accessories
really,
are a big thing.
really, and yeah, they
Accessories are a big
are.
thing.
And it just, it's this. If I go into the shop and when I was a customer, and I'm handed a basket, I have to hand it back because I will fill it. There's just too much in there to try.
Yeah.
That it really does become, you're hooked. But the flavors and the nuances, and for me, when I was studying, looking at the flavor wheel of cigars, it was a challenge to sit there before looking at the profile and tasting what I could.
Yeah.
And if there was something there that I couldn't put my finger on, not pepper or this or that, then I would look it up. And it's fun. It's fun.
So I have a question for everyone, though. Do you all take time to like look into the blends of each cigar that you smoke? Like if someone gives you a cigar, or if you purchase a new cigar, like do you take that into consideration, or do you just smoke it?
Yes, I want to know everything.
No, I
Okay.
just smoke it because I can pick it up pretty much. Sometimes you can kind of look at the wrapper and tell what it is. Now, you might not know what the fillers are, but usually somebody gives you a cigar, they're telling you, or I'll say, what is it? And I'll tell you what it is. What I like about most packaging, which I think they should do with every packaging, is they should put what it is.
Yeah.
Put what it is,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, it just makes life easier. We can't remember every single, blend and, what it is and things like that. Like I said, sometimes, like with Rob can just look at something and be like, oh, that's a Cameroon. He can just tell. I can look at certain stuff and say, okay, that's a Connecticut broadleaf. I can kind of just tell. But then sometimes you got like those San Andres that can be, kind of look a little bit like a Connecticut broadleaf, or, I mean, it's one of those things. So I'm not really big on the blend. I just, for me, it's just more so I want to smoke the cigar because I want to try and see if it's good, But then I think after I smoke it, I'm like, okay, now what was that blend?
Yeah.
I think I do it after, more so
okay.
before.
Nia, in the beginning for me, I did look at everything that went into the cigar. But over time, I stopped because I knew what I liked, and if I tried something new, instead of asking, again, it went back to the taste and everything, and then knowing it. But yeah, I stopped.
I think I do
really
it as force of
concentrating.
habit, because if somebody comes to me and asks me what it is, I want to know without having to look it up. Not that I haven't referred to Google, but it's nicer to know off the top of your head.
Yes, now being in retail
You want to know
for the
what
short
things
2
are.
weeks,
Yep.
I am going back to, so I can explain it to someone.
Oh.
I took it for granted for so long.
Okay.
But now that I know, I'm going to be explaining it to someone who comes in, who's never smoked it before or is new. Now I'm going back to learning all of it.
Well, my advantage is when it comes in here and it's new, and John will bring it out, and I'll say, John, what is that? I always have to ask, what is that, John? Tell me the blend on that, John. So, I want to know all the newer ones. I know pretty much all of them, because that's really the ones I'm going to be kind of pushing, is like, 'cause that's what people want. They, what's new, what's out there. So I try to keep myself familiarized more so on the newer ones. The older ones are still in the back of my mind. I can still kind of
Pull
throw
them
them out there. But yeah, for the most part, it's pretty much like what's new. I try to keep current with the blends and the way they taste and stuff like that. So anyway,
That was cool.
well, am I only okay? So I got another topic I wanted to bring up real quick, and I think we kind of covered a little bit of basis on it, but what I find funny is that with cigar smoking, men like to refer that as sexy. I, on the other hand,
Let's turn the table.
yes,
Yeah.
I find it sexy with certain kind of looking men, especially if I pick up one of those Cigar Aficionado magazines. I'm like, oh man, like I think it was Idris Elba,
Elba.
whatever. I was like, oh, he looks so good smoking that cigar. Like, oh my god, So I mean, I think it could work both ways. You know, I think anyway. I think some women come like, okay, this one shop I was at, they would come in just because they're like, oh, that's where the guys hang out, you know, and they're like, I'm going in there, you know, and they pick up a cigar, and then they actually start liking it, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just interesting how certain people do start smoking a cigar and getting into it.
I'm kind of tired of that, though. The whole.
I find zero.
I'm
sex appeal
tired
when it comes
of
to
the
cigars.
sex appeal with us, but I'm not tired of sex appeal.
Well,
with
we all enjoy a good-looking person, and we're all going to look. But as far as being a woman, I get a little bit tired
I get tired.
of the men who just are fixed on nothing sexier than a woman smoking a cigar.
That's because there's something in their mouth.
I just turn around and say, oh yeah, there's nothing sexier
But
about a man smoking
I'm
a cigar.
Yes,
I'm
but it's a
telling
little
you.
But I think
tiresome.
it is though. I think it is. Not all the men. Are you kidding me? No. But like an they'll just you know, elbow or you know,
But the
someone
reference
like
that
that
they're making is
like you know.
the reference that they're making is it's nice to see you with something in your mouth. Well,
Yeah,
back,
well,
back
I'm-
at you.
It still goes, but it still goes
I like
back
that.
to the original way of men were the ones who primarily smoked cigars when the cigar business started initially. So women
But
who
I'd like
did
to
smoke,
break
it was like
that.
a little bit.
I'd
Well,
like a
I
little
think-
more respect than
I think
a
it's
woman
being
smoking
broken.
a
Let's do
cigar.
You guys are doing
wait,
it.
wait a minute. Let's do this. Let's break the history down
Women
real
have
quick.
smoked since
We
the big
exactly. We have.
bands
We
didn't
have. We have
exist.
to. They used to wear. Women used to
Gloves.
wear white gloves when they would smoke, and another thing with. I hate to bring up the other C word, but they had the little tips, and even the cigars had the tips because the women. That was a lifestyle. When you went out, you went to the speakeasies, places like that. You smoked. Everybody smoked, whether it was the other C word or the cigars. Everybody
Wait,
was
what's the other C
smoking.
word?
Cigarettes.
We don't say that name. We don't
Sorry.
say that name. That name is taboo. We don't say that name. But I guess it's a good thing to clarify the C word, huh? With a bunch of women on the panel.
Like, that's what I
Sorry.
thought.
That could go a whole
Initially.
bunch of different ways.
I didn't know.
Initially.
But you know, I mean, that was a lifestyle, and then I think as the times changed, and then women were more so in that motherly role back in the 40s and 50s.
They were smoking and drinking
Yeah.
more.
Yeah,
They
they
were,
were
no,
hiding
they
it
were
back.
in the
They were.
basement. They were hiding it though. They were hiding it. And then I think as the women's movement came and all the other stuff, and you know,
So do
everything
you guys?
else, I think now women feel like okay, now I can kind of put my head back out there and
And be out there with it. So then there's
Yeah.
been an evolution of sorts with the
Exactly,
cigar
that's what I
smoking
think.
for women.
It's funny that you bring up speakeasies because of the prohibition.
Yes, let's talk
Yeah,
about the
that's the
background of
prohibition.
that. Yes,
So
I had it
that's
written
They
down.
come in the mason jars and then they package them in crates so that they're sort of reminiscent of the old prohibition times where
Well, because of the FDA, yeah, because of the
Yeah, it
FDA
wasn't
right
regular.
now. You know Rocky
he does
very
a lot.
well.
Yeah.
He does a lot in Washington, fighting for the rights for cigar smokers and the FDA. So this was kind of like his sock it to your face.
Yeah.
Well, prohibition didn't last, so neither is your regulations
the
on
name,
cigars.
the
are
name
gonna
references the actual
Yeah.
real threat to our industry.
Yes, so that was a good. Thank you for bringing that up.
Nice packaging.
It's gorgeous packaging. Oh, we didn't even do his initial
First
impressions.
impressions,
Well,
right.
let's do first and last, I guess, or whatever. you want to do. We got time, though. We have time. So go ahead. You want to start, Nia, with initial?
I mean, initially when I pull, it has a really good draw. Mine does. It's a little spicy that's going on there. I don't know if I'm getting some cocoa or what, but I mean, I don't know just yet. I haven't made a decision as to whatever else I'm tasting in the cigar.
Well, the profile on it says coffee, leather, dark chocolate, and molasses. Did you get any of that?
I got the is
You
the
got the
cocoa in
chocolate?
there?
I got the
Yeah,
chocolate.
that's what I got. And yeah,
Like a bitter chocolate. I guess that's that dark
but
chocolate.
I like dark chocolate.
I don't like dark
Oh,
chocolate.
I love it.
Only time I have to eat is when I have a nicotine overdose. Oh, man, those are not fun at all.
Ooh,
Ooh,
I don't think I've
girl.
ever had that.
Mm-mm.
Scary.
That's very scary, Robin, because you feel like all dizzy and
What's
sick.
your rating on it?
We
Oh, yeah.
didn't do that yet.
Oh, yeah,
Good.
we're doing initial
No,
impressions
first
first. We got
impression.
time. We're going to go back around.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You got to do it again.
Make sure you can get it all in there.
My only issue with it was on first cut and first dry draw was the amount of dust that you get in your
I got
mouth.
some dust, too.
has a very good airflow to it. I don't find it has much spice unless I'm retrohaling, and I do get the chocolatey notes off of it.
I do. The spice is definitely there. The draw, very good. I taste more the leather.
I can smell the leather.
I do have the chocolate coming in there, but it does have,
That leathery.
yeah,
Yeah.
more so than a sweetness. It talks about the molasses. I guess it's more of a coffee leather and peppery.
When it first started, it was very harsh for me, for the initial light up, but it has smoothened, evened itself out. I'm definitely getting dark chocolate, not so much coffee, and not really sweet. It's almost like a bittersweet. It's a bitter.
Charred.
It's like a charred, bittersweet taste. But the draw is nice. I mean,
It
the draw
is,
is impeccable, and there's a
It
lot
is.
of smoke coming out.
Yeah.
And what I would pair with this, I know I wrote it down somewhere. Oh yeah, I was thinking, which I thought would be fun, a cocktail rum punch.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, the Jamaican rum punch with
Oh.
all the brown spices. The Jamaican spice rum.
A stout beer would go good with that too.
Probably a good Guinness, maybe. Good Guinness.
For
Well, to be the soda girl,
Yes, soda man.
this is the Dr. Pepper.
Okay, we have to try that with Dr.
This is
Pepper.
the Dr. Pepper cigar.
That sounds good. And then another one was a butterscotch rum. So
That sounds
that's
good.
that sounds like it would kind of make it sweeter, and maybe bring out some of those sweet notes that it's talking about that we kind of not picking up without overpowering it. This is definitely on the fuller body side, but since I'm used to full body,
And, yeah, so am I, and I agree.
I can kind of handle it more on a medium.
Yeah, I'm like
medium.
straight
So
medium
don't
on
eat,
this.
drink, don't smoke this on an empty stomach then.
No, I definitely wouldn't. So let's rate it, ladies.
I give it an 8.5.
Considering price point, what's the price point?
850.
Mouth it to me.
855.
No, 10?
About $11.
No, like around 10.
855.
No, I think it's 10. It's $10 or $11. But anyway, go ahead. So 8.5.
Yes, an 8.5.
Robin? Give it what you want, Robin. Robin.
I get a flat 6.
Okay,
right.
that's fair. Miss Nancy?
It's a gorgeous cigar, and the draw is good. A little airy for me, though it is fuller bodied, which I do like. I like the fullness of it. I would give it a 6.5.
Wow. I'm scared.
a little too airy, but it is full and
Okay,
spicy.
that's honest. And for me, I remember smoking this before. To me, it tastes better. I'm going to go with a solid 8 on this one because it's not doing what I thought it was going to do. So my expectation of it was lower. So it did, surprise me better. So yeah, I'm going to give it an 8. So 12 Days of Christmas coming up. Thank you, ladies. We got to do this show again, hopefully maybe next week. I don't know, maybe a couple weeks, couple months. But we got to say goodbye for now. So smoke sweet, everybody. Thank
Bye,
you for
guys.
tuning in on our Wednesday show.